Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about Pizzamovie. Dude, I had a freaking awesome time with this movie. Quick heads up, this review will contain some minor spoilers. Pizzamovie is an absurdist stoner comedy written and directed by McElhaney and Kocher, and the basic setup is pretty simple. Two college roommates accidentally take this fictional drug called M.I.N.T.S. They start hallucinating, the effects keep getting weirder and more dangerous, and the only thing that can bring them back down is food. More specifically, pizza. So from there, this becomes a chaotic college comedy where these two guys are just trying to get their pizza while dealing with bullies, awkward crushes, resident assistants, weird drug phases, and these completely ridiculous hallucinations that keep escalating. That is the kind of comedy that I wish we got more often. Because Pizzamovie is silly, fast, weird, kind of stupid in the best way, and it has a lower budget indie energy that really works for it. I don't know what the actual budget was, but this movie has a we just grabbed a bunch of funny people and made it energy. The movie is only 97 minutes, so it flies by and it never overstays its welcome. It gets in, sets up the characters, throws them into this insane night, and just keeps moving. For a comedy like this, that matters a lot. Because with these kinds of movies, if the pacing starts to drag, then the jokes feel weaker. But here, the movie has a really good rhythm. It keeps introducing new obstacles, new phases, new little bits, and it never really gives you enough time to get bored. What surprised me the most is how much a lot of the humor came down to just timing. It's not always about one giant joke or a massive set piece. Sometimes it's just a character reacting at the perfect time, or a line being delivered in the dumbest possible way, or a visual gag that lasts just long enough to be funny without being beaten into the ground. There's one bit early on where Jack is running away from these bullies, and he peeks around a corner, sees them walking away, jumps out like he's safe, and then they're immediately right behind him saying, "There he is, get him!" and start chasing him again. That is such a simple slapstick joke, but the timing of it got me. Again, like I mentioned, there are lines that are so stupid, they're hilarious. There's a moment where Montgomery is high and he's trying to talk to his crush Ashley, and he's this nervous, awkward guy who clearly does not know how to act around her. Then one of the drug phases seems to end and he says, "Is it over?" Ashley asks, "Is what over?" And he says, "The American dream." I'm not going to do that joke justice, but that is the kind of humor that this movie is running on. It's random, but it's not lazy random. It feels like the writers actually understand how to build a joke, how to undercut a moment, and how to make these characters sound ridiculous without making the whole movie feel like a sketch that went on too long. Now, I do think some people are going to watch this and think that it has Disney Channel vibes. And honestly, I get that. There are certain performances, character dynamics, and college movie setups that do feel like they're right on the edge of something you would see in a slightly more adult Disney Channel movie. But for me, that actually added to the charm. It has this youthful, goofy, heightened energy, but then it also throws in drug hallucinations, head explosions, weird violence, and stoner comedy chaos. So it almost feels like a Disney Channel college comedy that got possessed by 21 Jump Street, Neighbors, and a little bit of Pineapple Express. It's a great combo. The cast is a huge reason for why this movie works. Gaten Matarazzo is great as Jack. I really liked how the movie plays with his confidence because Jack has this delusional idea of himself where he's like, "Dude, look at me. I should be the king of this school." And that's funny because he's not presented like an obvious campus legend. He's a short, very nerdy looking guy with weird confidence, and the movie uses that contrast really well. Giambrone as Montgomery might have been my favorite actor in the movie. First of all, his voice is so distinct. The entire time I was watching this, I was thinking to myself, why does he sound like he could be from Rick and Morty? And then I realized he voices Yumulak from Solar Opposites. Beyond his perfectly anxious voice, I thought he was really funny here. Montgomery has an awkward, nerdy, anxious energy, and he kind of reminded me of a mix between Abed and Troy from Community, but more shy, more weird, and more loserish. And I mean that in the most affectionate way possible. Lulu Wilson is also really good as Lizzie. You can tell she used to belong with Jack and Montgomery, but she abandoned them because she wanted to fit in with the people who seemed cooler. And without getting into major spoilers, I liked where the movie took that. It gives the friendship story just enough emotional weight without pretending this is a deep drama about college loneliness. And then there's Jack Martin as Blake, and he gives the best performance in the movie. Blake is the authoritarian RA leader, and he plays him with this insane intensity. There's a whole Inglourious Basterds reference with him that I absolutely loved, where he's interrogating a student about hiding a very specific kind of bong in his fridge, and that performance is so committed. He has this squint, this glare, this weird villain energy where he looks like he genuinely hates every student in the dorm. It's ridiculous, but he completely sells it. Caleb Hearon also shows up as Sydney, an inept RA who says he's 31 years young and took a 10-year gap, and while that character could have easily been annoying, I thought he was pretty funny. This movie is full of unique characters like that. Almost everyone has a weird specific thing about them that makes them memorable. I also really appreciated that the cast looks college age. I know that sounds like a small thing, but it helps. So many college movies cast people who look like they are pushing 35, and here the actors actually feel like they could be students because they're within the age range of 20 to 27. It makes the setting feel more believable even when everything happening around them is completely insane. On the technical side, this is not a movie where I'm going to say the cinematography blew me away or the music changed my life. That's not really the point. The movie is good for what it is, it has a clean enough style, and it does a solid job capturing the dorm setting, the party environments, and the more surreal hallucination stuff. It has that indie comedy look, but it never felt cheap. If anything, the slightly lower budget feeling adds to the personality of the movie. Oh, I do want to give one warning. This movie is gorier than expected. There are head explosions, blood, screaming, and some pretty violent hallucination moments. It completely caught me off guard, and it completely caught my girlfriend off guard too. She was like, oh my god, what is happening right now? Is Victoria Newman in this? At the same time, the gore weirdly adds to the fun because the violence is so over the top and ridiculous that it fits the idea that these characters are going through drug phases where anything can happen. Ultimately, what really makes Pizzamovie work for me is that it feels like a comedy made by people who actually wanted to make a comedy. That sounds obvious, but so many modern comedies feel embarrassed to fully commit to being dumb, weird, or silly. This one doesn't feel embarrassed. It embraces the loser energy, the nerdy characters, and the absurdity. It lets the jokes be stupid, but it also knows how to structure them so they land. Is every joke perfect? I'd like to say no, but every joke landed for me. Are there moments where the humor may be too goofy for some people? Probably. If you don't like stoner comedies or absurdist humor, this probably won't be your thing. But for me, this was exactly the kind of comedy I wanted. I started watching the first 20 minutes while running on the treadmill, and then I realized I actually really liked it, so I paused it and watched the whole thing with my girlfriend later that night. And I'm glad I did, because this is the kind of movie that is more fun when you watch it with somebody else and you're both just laughing at how strange and stupid it gets. So overall, Pizzamovie is my favorite comedy of the year so far. It's fast, funny, creative, and full of memorable characters. It has a great cast, really strong comedic timing, a fun college setting, and enough weirdness to stand out from other streaming comedies. So grab a slice, buckle up, and enjoy the trip. Thank you for listening to my review of Pizzamovie. If you enjoyed the review, leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the review, I hope your head pops. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if there's something you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Good Friends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego, and I will see you next time.